welcome to the Melly
and Shally show.
We're very excited about today's live show. It was an idea from Richard here behind the scenes to show all the different uses of the LM40. So the LM40 is our multi-purpose spray. It's a spray that absolutely can just about do anything. So we are going to have some fun today and show a little bit of what this product can actually do.
Yeah, perfect. So if we talk about superheroes in the Liqui Moly range, this is probably the top superhero. So as soon as anything happens, he's the first one going out to solve the problem. So such an amazing product. And yeah, as Mel mentioned, it's a multi-purpose spray we offer. It has so many different applications, whether it be a penetrating oil, whether it be corrosion protection, whether it be just to lubricate any hinge or any. So we're going to quickly run you through a few examples and see how much we can get through within 30 minutes. So we actually have a timer for that. And as soon as we are ready, we'll start that and get the show going.
Okay, so let's start. So here's the Liqui Moly spray. So this is a can that you can take in your hands and walk all around the house, all around your garage, and there's a lot of things that you're going to be able to do, and we're going to show you what that is. But one of the things, what I want to start with a tip, is inside normally the lid. The little red nozzle is on the side of the can. And this nozzle is always not that easy to get because it fits quite nicely and perfectly into the spray nozzle. So what I normally do is I place it in and then I take the whole top of the nozzle off so I can store it like this. So then it's easy for me to just slip it on and be ready to spray. So just a tip for us to get started, but we're going to play around with these products. But let's start with one of the ways and the reason why this product is so amazing. First of all, it's got a huge amount of creeping properties. So you spray it where you can reach and it's going to creep all the way to the places where you can't reach. But one other really, really great property of the LM40 is its water displacing properties, and that's why it helps with squeaks and rusts, and you're going to see all the different things. But to be able to illustrate that, what we are going to quickly show you is, all of you know the product Displacement. Yeah. So this is a fizzy tablet to take headaches and for blood thinners and I don't know, all the different uses. So this is the normal way of using it. And you'll see when you do, immediately it starts to fizz.
Dissolve, yeah.
That is the way it's supposed to work and that's how you would drink it. But if you want to have a trick on someone and you do it a little bit different, take the same Displacement, soak it in LM40. Woo! I think I'm going to have a lot of oil in my pants at the end of today.
At least it smells good, so coconut.
That's the good. It's great that you mention it because most of the time other multi-purpose sprays smell like oil, and if you have it in your car and somewhere close to your nose, then it's not the nicest smell. So the Displacement now I have soaked into the LM40, and I'm going to drop it into the other glass, and voila! Not the same situation as what we have with the one glass. So you'll see there's a couple of bubbles that's going up, but we'll see after our 30 minutes if this actually still is not fully dissolved. Here it's fully dissolved, here it is still just a couple of bubbles. Why does that happen? The LM40 protects the Displacement and makes sure that the thing does not dissolve. So that is why it's so great for all the applications that we're going to show you. But let's get started. Cool. Let's make this fun. We have a lot of things to see how we can pack them into 30 minutes. So get the starter going.
Cool, so 30 minutes, here we go.
All right. So we're going to start, and I'm going to be running around giving Shally all these different things to do. So we're going to start first. I don't know how many of you actually take scissors and there's all these things that are really sticky that you have to cut. Like this one is really taking quite strain to open because it has a little bit of duct tape still on it. So Shally, let's spray it and see if this really difficult opening and closing is going to get improved by the LM40.
Cool, so the purpose of this LM40 is, as we mentioned, penetrating oil. So it's going to get into hot reach places, but also it's be able to clean the stickiness of this. We actually use the tape to be able to remove this. So just to get in there, you can actually see the pieces of tape coming off, removing the stickiness on this scissor. And yeah, it's no purpose if it can't function. So that's the whole point.
So let's see how open, close, yay! Okay, so scissors that are sticky and that are getting a little bit tough to open and close. Then we have
different kinds of hinges.
So we've just taken, because we thought of bringing the whole door, but that was not going to work. So different hinges, whether they're for your cupboards and your kitchen or on different doors. I mean, one of the things is if you want to creep around in the house and they go, then that's also annoying. but also when they are really tough to be able to move around, you want to make sure that they're lubricated. So this one that Shally has is quite tough.
Yeah, so this is quite tough. This is an actual kitchen hinge door. And a lot of times the females complain because they have to open a kitchen door to get the sugar or get whatever, and it becomes the husband's problem because he has to solve this. So what amazing product. You can apply it on all the hinge points on this, just to make sure you apply enough of this. And it makes it so easy to be able to open and close, there you can see. It's already getting much better. Cool, so that is the kitchen door hinge. This is actually used on the outside, so it's exposed to environment. And as we can know, on this pin going through here, there's a lot of corrosion happening on this hinge. So you can't steal sugar at night or have a late night breakfast or whatever you want to do. Yeah. So it's quite difficult to do that. But just apply on the hinge, and you can see it will actually run down through this whole pin and lubricate the whole pin. And there you can actually hear
so smooth.
Much better.
So let me get the next one. Okay. So we have a couple of pliers, different ones, small little ones, bigger ones, and then ones that should have been thrown away already. Okay, but I can assume that there's a lot of you that have these kind of things that you find if you didn't have to use a tool for a while and then you forgot to actually look after them. So this small little one has got a little spring in the middle, and it's quite, there's a little bit of a resistance for it to actually open up, but also it's very badly rusted. So Shally, let's do that one. I'll go through the process of these things. It's the same. This one also will sound like a bed that also needs, that's the other thing that you can use it, the springs inside your bed or your mattress. So this one doesn't even want to open up on its own because it's so badly rusted, so that'll be a nice example, but there's a little spring there on the inside. Shally does do that for us. And this one, it doesn't want to open fully, and it really battles to close on its own. All of this because there's rust and because it is not properly lubricated. So after Shally has put some LM40 on it, now we have the little one already. Just see how easy that is, opening and closing. So great. This one, I thought this one it had to be like mouth to mouth or something, but already doesn't stay closed. There it does still, but movement, no squeaking, so much better. Okay, let me see this one. I can even see the rust actually coming out of the different hinges. Yeah. So opening, closing, you're going to do that a little bit so that it can creep into the different areas. Oh, but wow, this is so much easier. I can do it with my finger. So awesome. We have pliers. So the next one, I don't know how many times you've had a zip that got stuck, and sometimes at awkward times. But anyway, so important to be able to make sure if you have that issue. Our recommendation will be not to apply it when you have it on. Yes. Because LM40 still has a little bit of a fluidness and an oiliness to it. It is a lubricant. So if you do have your zips that get stuck, just by applying it where actually the zip part closes, it's going to be able to make sure that you don't have an issue with the zip.
Yeah, so just to remove the friction on those closing parts. And that's the whole purpose of this LM40. So I'm just going to apply a little strip there, like that.
Okay.
So much easier. Sure, this is really amazing. Cool.
Do it with your eyes closed. Okay, then the can opener. You've got different types. You've got the one that you have to turn. It's the 1950 version. Then you have the ones that you can that looks a little bit more like it's progressed in development. Then you have the electric ones, but all of them have a blade. And a lot of the times we don't wash them every time we've used them and have this little wheel. All of these things are moving parts that if there's contamination, there's a little bit of water or wetness on it, it is going to get stuck. So this one already is, the wheel is already seems like it's a bit rusted. So we looked for proper candidates for this tool. So Shally, if you can spray that, then I'll get the next one.
So the first application is on this hinge itself, just to make sure it can work properly, function properly. So I'll apply there. And then the second one would be on the actual gears, as you mentioned, because that's where the corrosion starts building up and preventing you from actually using this tool. So much easier. Let's rub it in a bit. Cool.
Voila.
So now can you baked beans bring and ons kan eet.
All right, so another thing that you might get stuck with is you have needles that you want to actually put through some material that is really, really tough and thick. So a great tip is then to apply a little bit of LM40. We'll not, you can just put it on
Oh, my
tip.
hands are so full, so.
I saw that, so that's why I said you can just touch anything, it'll be full of LM40 now. So then it goes through the material much easier, but also a lot of the time on the sewing machines, you have your needles that actually rust. So you can apply that on the needle to be able to make sure that you don't have a problem of it rusting.
Yeah, so the nice thing is, especially if you have a little bit of needles, we suggest get a little bucket and you put it inside there, and as soon as you use it, you can take it out, so prevent corrosion, as Mel mentioned.
Okay, so I don't know if any of you have one of these at home. So
a pruning shears.
Yeah. So this one has also gone to places of rust and was hardly planning on returning. But now let's see two different things. One, the movement is really difficult and tacky. You can actually hear the friction and how stiff it is. But also let's see with the cloth, first of all, to take the rust off.
Yes.
And second of all, to make this movement easier. Shally?
Cool, so I'm going to show you a little piece here. I'll apply there. And as soon as we're done, we'll just take some rust off. So it's going to actually start lifting this rust. Okay, so that's a little piece I apply. Just let it run a bit.
And also on the hinge.
And then on the hinge as well. It's so difficult cutting down trees or pruning any leaves if you just have a small scissors like the first one we reviewed. It makes life so much difficult. Okay, so already I can feel it's way better.
Wow, I also see the rust actually coming off.
Dripping off, yeah. So now I'm just going to take a little piece here.
Elbow grease.
Actually, just hear it.
Oh. Okay, so just a tip. Prevention is better than cure.
Yeah.
So if we actually sprayed this tool with LM40 beforehand, it wouldn't have looked like that. But now at least with the LM40 you can get the rust, the bigger rust, you can work that off. But also at the same time you can make sure that the usage of the tool is still operational.
Yes. So you can see there's quite a difference there, and it wasn't even on for a few seconds.
Okay.
So yeah, perfect.
So we'll later, when we finish, just scrub that whole thing, just as a little bit of excitement between the two of us. Okay, so then we have everybody with children will know that this is something, especially when you step on it, it's something that you hate, but it's great for development for kids. So Lego, very, very popular. But there's a lot of time with the Lego. I mean, kids are playing out with the Lego. They might have eaten something. Their hands are a little bit sticky. They're drinking cool drink. And if it stands as well for quite some time, you really battle to get them loose from each other. So a really nice tip as well, if you have a problem like that, if they are sticky, if there was food, if they're cool drink and you're battling to get them loose, then spray a little bit of LM40 and you'll be able to take the blocks from each other.
So cool, put it to the test and let go. Let's see.
Timer.
So as Mel mentioned, a lot of times you have some fizzy juice and this gets in contact with it, or you spill on it, especially Coke. And yeah, it makes it so difficult for you to pack away all the little toys that your kids have been using. So yeah, so much easier.
I wonder if LM40 will work if you step on it. Just take the pain away.
Yeah, it's so much easier.
So kids, I don't know, wall-wise and furniture-wise, and they don't always read the part that says permanent marker, meaning it's not supposed to go anywhere because it's going to be permanent. Thank goodness for LM40. So if you have a black marker, a permanent marker that's on the tiles or somewhere on the wall, don't worry, don't fear. LM40 is here.
Yes.
So Shally, take that 40 off for us.
Cool.
Or the LM, whichever way. We don't want to see any.
Yes, so easy.
Ooh, wow. Okay, so just show. Unbelievable.
So easy.
And that's a permanent marker. If you don't believe me, I'll find it just now and show
It's
you.
around somewhere. Trust us.
Okay, stunning. So that's the permanent marker. Then a really nice use as well is, okay, is my hair. Yesterday's hairdo.
Yeah, it's for a mock-up.
So normally the wooden handles, I can already feel this one as well. There's the possibilities for splinters are going to definitely be there. So Shally, what is the advantage of LM40 on this?
Yeah, cool. So I know a lot of guys prefer using wooden handles because you buy the plastic shafts and that just a sense of flex or break. But eventually what you need to do is just apply a little bit of LM40. And then what it's going to do is just going to prevent this wood from splintering as much. Just lubricate as well. So you can even see, I'm just going to do a piece here. And just this little piece that I did, but eventually it's going to pull into the wood and just make it nice and supple, in Afrikaans word.
Supple. Nice and soft, and
Soft,
also so
yes,
you make
yes.
sure that the splinters
Cool.
are
So
not
already I feel there's not much splinters happening here, and I can keep working all day. So easy.
All right, so a couple of other things is to untangle jewelry. So if you've put your favorite chain around your neck and then you need to go rave, and maybe you have to be able to take it off because it's in all the different angles. A little bit of LM40 and it's going to make it easy to untangle it.
Yes.
Then if you want to be romantic and you're putting candles all over the house and then you kind of forget about them because maybe the kettle started blowing or the food got ready or the oven was on too long, and you forget about the candles that are on and they are dripping on the carpet, don't worry, LM40 is here. Spray a little bit of it on the candle wax. You'll be able to remove that off the carpet.
Cool. So before we carry on now, I know especially now it's garden time, so lawnmowers, two-stroke weed eaters, those kind of things, they tend to stick up. And what you want to do is just the accelerator, the throttle on a mechanism. You actually just want to release that. So a lot of times it's also quite sticky to get, especially on the cable going towards that. So it's so easy. You just apply some LM40. Wiggle around a bit, and it's just going to loosen that accelerator cable. Okay,
so you say lawnmowers. I mean, I know anything, garden equipment, that preventing rust, making sure that it can last much longer, that if you do have any cables that you have to pull, I mean, there's so many different uses. If you want to make sure that it works long, if it has a cable that is in friction and in movement all the time, and also where the possibility is of it getting water and moisture, to protect it beforehand. Even another tip is on the inside of the lawnmower, spray LM40 on before so that the grass does not stick to the lawnmower as much as what it normally does. All right, so now we all know rusty bolts. Okay, so here is a rusty bolt, already a little bit too, you're supposed to be able to use it, but it's so badly rusted that you can't turn it.
Yeah, so in case you wonder what it is, this is just a custom design we made to make it much easier. But if I can't adjust this, I can't put different. Wait, what? We need something here to loosen this.
Okay, so spray it and let's see if we can.
We've got LM40, don't worry. I'll make a plan here.
So if you have rusted bolts and you want to make sure that you can get them loose. So I have so much trust in the LM40. Give it this side.
I think Mel's got. She ate the pup this morning. I didn't.
Whoa! Okay, there we go. It's opening up. Wow. That was easy. Are you sure you pushed it hard enough? No, it's so easy. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, great. So rusted bolts, you want to make sure that rust can also put some lubrication. It's going to creep all the way, so it's easy then just to loosen it up. Okay, so another really nice tip and use for LM40 is you've got kids and that you might have a play equipment at home in a playground. You have a slide. So before the kids go down, take a little bit of LM40, spray the slide itself. Make sure you wipe it off because you don't want that oily stain on the kids' bums. But it is going to make it really nice and smooth for the kids to be able to slide down. And if you can now think of that use, I mean, there's so many different other places where you can just make sure the kids' toys, where you want to have little friction, is actually just have that extra a slide on it and protection so that the kids can really enjoy their toys.
And that is also a nice thing, especially with the slide. So we also have the outdoor camping chairs, generally the plastic ones. So I know at home we've got green ones. They used to be green. They like white powder now. And that is just a damage from the sun. So what you can do, apply some LM40. It's just going to restore the color and just make sure that when you want to use it, it is already prepped. So such an amazing tool. And you can use it on a slide as well, because I know the slide also gives off like white residue or generally blue.
Yeah, so to make all those plastic items look brand new and also have that nice glow, but also other things to be able to do, and this is one of the others, is we showed you now how the water displacement, this dispersion is still not dissolved. So spark plugs, if you have something electric or somewhere where there's supposed to be a spark or a water should not be present, just spray the LM40. You will be able to see, so spark plug spray, and you'll see it will, the car will start. So you can think of any other places where water maybe is present and it shouldn't be to spray. So it's almost like a start fix. It can be for the same use. Yeah,
and another thing is this product is also developed for electrical conductivity. So just to remove any water present, as Mel mentioned. So to make sure those contacts actually make contact and do the function they should. So such amazing use.
Okay, so next one. So I don't know. This is lipstick. Shally's lipstick. He brought it with us after.
Sorry guys, this is my persona.
So you can, I mean, sometimes someone gives you a hug and they leave some lipstick on your clothing and it doesn't always come out. So don't fear, LM40 is here. Shally, let's see what the LM40 and just how to do that if you do have lipstick on
Cool.
clothing.
So generally, all the ladies, they like to kiss me, and it goes on my shirt stain here. So
All the ladies?
No, all the ladies, the older ones,
Okay.
all the generation ones.
I heard all the ladies. I think everybody heard all the ladies.
So what you do, you'll just apply some LM40 on the fabric self.
Just lift it up
and
so
then,
people can see.
Sorry, there you can see. So I just applied on the lipstick self, and what you're going to do, you're just going to rub it in like this, Liqui elbow grease. And then we can see it's completely removed. And now what we suggest is just put your clothing in the wash so you can just remove all the stain as well. Cool.
Okay, so while we're on that with this lipstick, I mean, another thing that also get onto clothing is our is tomato sauce.
Yes.
So also, whichever tomato sauce or sauce that normally stains whatever it falls on, or hands go where they're not supposed to for the little ones. Really nice now is that you can actually, so what we did is this rug also has some tomato sauce, exactly the same as with the lipstick. You'll spray it on, you have a little bit of a rub, throw it into the washing, and voila, it will be clean. So such an easy use. Even your pen marks on leather, spray that on, just rub the leather a little bit, and that pen mark on the leather is going to come off.
Yeah. So I know there's a lot of guys, especially in winter, that they use LM40 as a de-icer on the vehicle self, or if you have maybe a fridge at home and you just want to de-ice the freezer, you can actually apply LM40 just to prevent the ice from sticking up to the surfaces. So it's quite a good tip as well.
Right. So another thing, I mean, I think there's a lot of, I always see these photos to say what your kids do when you're not at home. And it can be lipstick that's on clothing, but it can also be in the whole house. And then you have your permanent markers, and then you get your they thought this was really nice, and why don't you have paper if there's tiles in our house and walls that are white? So if you do find all these different things from the kids, I mean, they wrote you a nice letter, hello daddy, hello mommy, and you don't want to get too angry, don't worry, enjoy it. But just know that Liqui Moly will be able to take that away. So Shally, take the flower away for us.
Cool. So there's early stages of graffiti. You can ensure the kids also become more artistic.
Creative. Don't not let your kids watch this. This is only for
So
you.
I've just removed the flower because the other artwork was Richard, so I'm going to say this as a as a wonderful masterpiece.
Okay, so now here's the other tip. Let's say your children has really made a nice graffiti on the paving, and you want to actually keep it. Spray it with LM40, let it dry, and it's going to make it weatherproof. So when it rains, it's not going to go
Wash
the colours
away.
all over the place. So many uses. So next one. I don't know how many times you've had chappies in your hair. I had that when I was little, and I know Richard, not this Richard Jansen van Rens, but also had chappie in his hair one day when he came to work. Yeah. We didn't ask questions. But all that, all under your shoes. So another amazing use of the LM40, spray it in your hair, just move it around. It's going to come out very easily. Under your shoes, exactly the same story, and you get that gum out without any issues.
Yeah, and if you have issues like that, there's only two choices. So either, like Tulani, just have a spot in your hair, just remove a piece, or Richard, like just shave everything. So LM40 will be able to assist that to remove that. Cool. So the next one we're going to quickly cover is a lot of times we do cooking, and we love making steaks and like chips, but the oil spatters everywhere on your kitchen floor, on the tiles. So this is a ceramic tile we have with a bit of coconut oil and avocado oil, just to make it a little bit tricky.
I hope you can see this. Richard, can you see the oiliness on the tile?
Yes,
Okay.
so quite easy. So what we're going to do, you can just apply a little bit of LM40. We're just going to do like a half a piece here. And it really removes grime and grease. So this can also be used for your bathroom, for toilets, because especially there's a lot of grime and grease sitting down there, and you don't always have the necessary detergents to clean that. So
you see the difference. So this is amazing. Even in the toilets, you get those brown stains. You spray LM40, it's going to take it away, and it leaves a very, very nice shine with the nice coconuts. I don't know if the coconut's from the oil or from the spray,
I've got
but
no idea.
I'm getting a nice avo choco kind of smell.
it's a double shot right now.
Yeah, so your tiles, the tiles that's on your wall when you're cooking, the floors, all of those things really nice and clean, and take those oily stains away without having any issues. And you saw how simple that was. I didn't even see his muscles melt.
Yeah, so the next one we're quickly going to cover is door locks. I know especially depends on which locks you use. Is it for your outside gate? They also expose to the weather and get rusted. So I don't bring one now to show you guys, but it's so easy to apply. You just apply on the lock self and in the hinge where the actual key goes in. and it's so easy to remove that. You'll actually see the corrosion, the rust starting dripping off. Such an amazing tool.
Wow, so another use for it as well is you see a lot of your insects on your car's bumpers. So this is a preventative use. So when you're finished washing your car, take LM40, spray it on your bumper and on your grill, and then buff it and polish it. You'll see there'll be a nice shine, but that will also prevent insects actually sticking to your grill and to your bumper. So this is a preventative, like we had on the windscreen, spray it on before so that the ice does not form on the windscreen. Now the same as with your bumper, spray it on when you're going to go on after you've washed it to prevent those insects actually sticking on the grill and on the bumper.
Yeah, so summer's coming up. Well, summer's already here, but December's coming up, so holiday, and what all we're going to do is going to travel to the ocean. We love the beaches and also the corrosion, humidity that goes with it. It's not always the best. So just make sure you apply LM40, especially on the things that you know is going to be exposed to this environment. I actually know that Melly just came back from holiday now, and she has such a wonderful ball, but she mentioned that everywhere where she didn't apply LM40, those hinges started rusting. So
yeah, so best is prevention. I mean, if you have a home close to the ocean, a friend of mine always says, if you can see the ocean can see you. So if that is the case, make sure that wherever you spray or wherever there's movement, I mean, you can not apply too much. So rather spray that on when you just before you leave your house, when you arrive there, and get someone to spray it every single month. And rather, it is too many places.
Cool. So one more that I know that I'm guilty of is I love to go picnic or camping, and a lot of times I take the glassware and stick it into each other. Eventually, when you get there and you want to drink, put some fizzy juice in there, you can't remove that. So LM40 is also a great idea. And then as soon as you're done, just make sure you wash your glass nice to remove the wheelbase. Otherwise, you might have an oily double shot, whatever you're drinking.
But you won't die from it, so no worry. Yeah, but that
coconut flavored.
There's glass, actual glass, and also stainless steel cups, or plastic cups. So if you want to quickly remove them from each other, just add the LM40. That also then, the same kind of application is then on your ring. Maybe you're in areas where the altitude is changed and you're swelling a little bit, or water, or maybe have some reaction or very heat, or keeping water back, and your ring is really becoming really tight, then apply the LM40. It'll be easy for you to be able to take that off.
Cool. So not a lot of guys, they like their gum boots, and we have some polish we put on that. But as soon as you get home, the wife's not always proud to look at the floor and say, listen, look at those black stains. So LM40 also be able to remove that, especially on the tiles. It's such an amazing product, just too easy to remove that, and no elbow grease required.
Wow, okay, so it comes off the tiles, but also another use is, you know, when you put your glass on a wooden table, and the wooden tabletop actually leave that stain, that circle stain because of the water. No problem. LM40, apply it, polish it nicely, and you'll see that stain is going to disappear.
Yeah, so while we're in the kitchen, quickly, I've got a little kitchen top here. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to scratch it a bit. So not a lot of times we've got lack of tomatoes, or we've got some salad we're basting and we're cutting. I've just got a serrated rim here. Cool, so we have all the scratches, and when your mom comes to visit, she doesn't appreciate this.
Up so that
she doesn't appreciate, oh, this thing's quite heavy, so just give me a second. I'll just do a flyby so you can see some scratches there. Cool, so a lot of times she comes in and she's like, oh, check this countertops are so scratched. No worries, we can just apply a bit of LM40. I'm just going to put like this. And what it's going to do is just going to remove all the deep scratches, just to lubricate it a bit, and the appearance becomes way better. So there, I can barely see any scratches.
Oh wow, and it's so shiny. I can see even all the lights from the roof.
So easy to do.
So can anybody else see it, because I can't pick it up? Just maybe from here, just.
Where's the base light?
Voila.
Cool.
Okay, so kitchen tops, oven doors. Opening the oven every now and again. I mean, normally when you clean it, you don't think of all the hinges because you spray things on to be able to remove the oil. And now just easy to be able to make sure that the door's not going to come off, not going to rust off, and it's not going to make all this squeak. So if you want to go and take a little bit of whatever mom is or someone is baking
pudding or something, just take a bite.
That nobody's going to hear you, so just put that on. So kids' toys, another application for LM40. I mean, kids have, they have their scooters, they have their rollerblades, they have their bicycles, they have their electronic toys, all of those things, if you apply the LM40, they're going to last much longer. The wheels are going to be rotation, and there's going to be less wear. They're going to last longer. They're going to go faster downhill. So all the different toys that the kids are playing with, where there is a metal involved, and you want to make sure that it lasts as long as possible, LM40, and it will last as long as what it possibly can.
Another excellent application for this is laminate flooring. So we actually install laminate flooring at home, and what happens is if you walk over it, it's got a little squeaky noise, like an old house. And what we did is just apply a little LM40 in the cracks, and it just lubricates the friction between those laminate flooring, so it reduces the amount of noise it makes. It's such a wonderful tool.
Wow, that's definitely something that I didn't think about, but something that I'm going to apply, because I was wondering what I'm going to do to get all those noises out. So tar stains. If you have tar stains on your car and you want to remove that, LM40, and you'll be able to get those tar stains off without any hassle. And I don't know about you, Shally, but showers and places where the water is always dripping, there's always the mildew that's actually forming there. So you're always battling. You have 7 different sprays at home to be able to try and remove that. Yes. Don't worry, one spray, LM40, and that mildew is going to be removed. No worries.
One of the things that actually happened to me is a standing knife. So your standing knife, you'll see it as a blade. Does always get corroded, and now eventually you'll cut yourself, and that corrosion goes into your skin. So this is such a wonderful tool, just to use the LM40 as a preventative measure, just to ensure there's no corrosion building up.
Wow. Okay. I don't know if you still have vinyls.
No.
Okay. So vinyls have come back. You even have vinyl players. But one of the things, I mean, everybody, that's like that sound when it goes around, people actually like that. So that's why it's become a hit again, and there's quite a lot of vinyls that you can actually purchase. But one thing that's terrible, if it keeps on springing back and you put the same, I love you, I love you, I love you. So nice thing, don't worry about it. Take the LM40, take the vinyl and actually polish it. Those scratches will be removed, and you won't have the same line playing over.
Also, we've got 2 minutes left, Mel. So,
okay, shavers. So shavers, I mean, I know shavers because they have a movement, so you have different ones. The ones you cut your hair, and they've got the very, very sharp blades, but there's a movement and a vibration on it, and that they're moving at the back. So very, very important to be able to take care of those. Otherwise, they're not going to move. And when you're going to cut someone's hair, it is actually going to
get stuck. Yeah. I will never go back.
You'll cut them, and it's not going to be great. So cleaning it and making sure that that does not happen. Make sure that every time after you've used the cutter, you can actually put LM40 on it, clean it with it as well, and just take the extra oil off so that you can make sure it is nice and clean, and before you pack it away, it is in a good condition. Then the shavers. If you have an electronic shaver, there's a lot of small little bits of hair going in there, and that actually all clogs up, and it's important to clean it. So a great way to clean it is actually using the LM40 to make sure that shaver and all the hair is being removed from that shaver before you pack it away.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so I don't know who plays piano. So but Shally sings. So if your favorite song is Great Balls of Fire, and you want to make sure that your piano is really nice for you to be able to move from the one key to the other, they are clean. There's no stickiness to it. The dust in between is also cleaned. A really nice way to clean it is LM40. Rather put it then on a cloth, spray it on a cloth, and make sure that you can clean the keys, but you will also see then that very impressive line of Great Balls of Fire is going to make your life so much easier.
It takes you from a amateur to a pro.
So all the different, okay, so another problem, I know a lot of people make grip notes on their hands, so it is, hello, Susan and Mike. So if you are doing that and you get it home at night and you really have to scrub to try and get that off with all the different ways, let's do it. Let's say these grip notes, Susan. Okay, but you've got so much LM40 on you. Yeah, I'm trying to now. Sorry for hurting you. Okay, but anyway, I've made a scribble. So if you have your script notes.
My first ink ever.
And you want to take it off, no problem. So have your little bottle, the small one, in your pocket, the small LM40 in your back pocket. So if you finish with your script notes, voila, it's going to look as funky and as nice as that.
Cool, and that is our timer. So eventually, just what I want to say is just to make sure you use LM40 in all the applications that is needed and required. So it's such an amazing spray. And the reason why we say that is just to prevent your tools from looking like this. So Here's a few examples of rusted tools I've never used, and eventually it's going to be a mission to clean this.
You know, I just used to see it over someone over there, but not as a tool.
Yeah, this is quite a good weapon, but we're not going to do that. So that's just one of the tools, and if you think of doing a spit, I don't think I'll spit with this ever again. Maybe in the garden to plant some trees or whatever. But yeah.
Well, that's been left too long, so best is the prevention. Then here's a tip for you to use. Another really good use of an LM40 is to keep flies away of cows.
Cows, yeah.
So if you have cows, spray them with LM40 and they will be flealess. Not flealess, flealess. Another one as well, pigeons don't like LM40. We don't know why. They've got the protest going on, toy, big things. But the pigeons, if you spray that on your balcony or wherever they make a mess, they don't, well, not, maybe it's just because they slip sliding when they try to
every
sit.
day I'm shuffling.
So they will not sit there, they won't make a mess, so then that problem is solved. So there are many other uses, and we are being honest if we say more than 1,000. There's actually more than 2,000 uses of the LM40. So here's the thing, there are only 2 tools that you need at your house. Duct tape, if you have something that is supposed to stick and it doesn't want to. And LM40 if it's sticking and you don't want it to stick. But then also if you have to think of who's the warrior of the 2.
Yeah, LM40.
LM40, because even those stains of the duct tape, Liqui Moly will remove. Hope you enjoyed our show. Hope you learned a lot, and hope you're going to make sure that you get LM40 in your house. Because if you watched our ad, it even makes Ma jolly, the lawnmowers, every possible thing. So it's a have-to spray for you to take everywhere. And if your knees are starting to make noise as well, LM40.
We can put it to the test, don't worry.
Thank you very much for watching, and hope you enjoyed. Melly
and Shally. Thank you guys. Have a good day.